Hey guys, Nozzo here and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto versus Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars. If you're going to enjoy this video, then make sure to like and subscribe. I will be looking at Boruto era Sasuke, like before the Ishiki fight, so basically in his prime, and I will also be looking at a lot of different ways you can scale Anakin. I'll also be using legends, by the way, as there are so many different ways you can scale him. I will go over each one and how it affects the conclusion. So yeah, let's just get into it. When it comes to strength and attack potency, Anakin is stated to be stronger than Count Dooku when he was at his peak in Revenge of the Sith, and he's also stated to be physically more powerful than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, even as an old man, was able to keep up with Darth Vader, and Darth Vader was stated able to kill Sidious. While Darth Vader is stated weaker than Sidious, and, Obi-Wan still lost to Vader, it means that Anakin should not be leagues weaker than Darth Sidious. This is important because Darth Sidious can not only shake stars, but is also stated to be the most powerful Sith in history. The reason why this is a little bit contentious is because of Darth Vitate. Basically, he was capable of destroying the entire galaxy with a ritual, and also partly through chain reaction, you could argue. So you could argue that this makes, Darth Sidious able to destroy galaxies, but as I said, you could also argue that this is simply either a multi-solar system feat, as it could have destroyed the galaxy over time rather than all at once, or that it doesn't even really scale because Darth Sidious is stated to be the strongest, and obviously it's a ritual, so it wouldn't exactly scale to Vitate's actual level of power. So for a low end, we can have Anakin at star level, as Darth Sidious was stated able to shake stars, mid end multi-solar system level, and a high end galaxy level. As for Sasuke, meanwhile, it's a bit more simple. He was able to fight and damage fused Momoshiki, who, even in his base form, was capable of creating a realm with a sky filled with large stars in them, which would require a drill amount equal to 16.88 petaflow, or enough to destroy multiple solar systems. So we do have a bit of a conundrum here, where if you highball Anakin, he would be able to have a greater attack output than Sasuke. If you have him at his mid-end, they'd be around equal, and if you lowball him, then Sasuke would be stronger. Meaning that I think it would be safe to say it's a tie, however you can have Anakin stronger. As for Anakin, for speed, he is bare minimum faster than light, as he's able to easily react to things like the laser blasts that come from droids, which are stated to move at the speed of light. He's also probably hundreds of thousands of times faster than light due to scaling to or above Darth Vitate, who is capable of crossing the galaxy in 6 months, which would require him to move at 168,000 times faster than light. As for Sasuke, he is way faster than the speed of light, however to an unquantifiable amount, as even one of the weakest people in Naruto, being Haku, was stated able to move at light speed, and even Naruto, with being under Kurama's influence, was able to keep up with Haku, much less one-tailed Naruto, six-tailed Naruto, eight-tailed Naruto, Sage Mode Naruto, Kurama Mode Naruto, Kurama Mode 2 Naruto, Six Paths Naruto, and then also current Naruto, all of which Sasuke should scale to in terms of speed. However, we know he is almost 50 times faster than light, as Momoshiki was capable of drawing chakra from stars to the planet in a short amount of time, requiring him to move it at almost 50 times faster than light, meaning that Sasuke should at least be that fast. However, there's no way to objectively have him as fast as Anakin, as while yes, he is much faster than light, Anakin's, hundreds of thousands of times faster than light calc is just way above Sasuke. You can argue that Sasuke can increase his speed by focusing his chakra to his feet, however, Anakin can also increase his speed with force speed, meaning that argument's kind of null and void. So while that it is close, we don't really know if Sasuke would be able to keep up with Anakin, meaning that Anakin, objectively would be faster than Sasuke. As for durability for Anakin, it should scale to his attack potency due to being able to take force attacks from people comparable to him. As for Sasuke, and it's a similar story with Anakin being able to take attacks from people comparable to him, however you can argue that his durability is actually higher than his attack potency due to being able to survive a beatdown from Ishiki, who is much stronger than him, however it is to an unquantifiable amount. Basically it's the same story with the attack potency, where you can argue that either of them are stronger than the other, or it's a tie, it just depends on what you buy. When it comes to abilities, weaponry, and techniques, Anakin Skywalker has enhanced senses, various lightsaber combat skills as a skilled swordsman, has precognition, can replicate telekinesis with the Force, telepathy, has telekinetic blasts, psychometry, force field creation with force barrier, energy manipulation, being able to reflect, redirect, and absorb energy attacks thrown at him. He has matter manipulation on a subatomic scale, being able to activate a holocron, which requires to make numerous precision alterations to it on a subatomic scale. Rage power by getting much stronger when angered. Can sense auras, has clairvoyance, has mind and memory manipulation, barrier creation, has regeneration or healing with force healing, has resistance to poison, has matter manipulation as we said, has force scream, pyrokinesis, resistance to force drain, and has lightsaber grants Anakin plasma manipulation and heat manipulation along with minimal attack reflection, and of course, as I just said, he has his lightsaber as a weapon. As for Sasuke, he has a lot to go through, so I'll try and be brief with it, and also my throat is killing me, so bear with me. Firstly, he has chakra manipulation, acrobatics, breath attack, he's a master in hand-to-hand combat, and swordsmanship and taijutsu. He has afterimage creation, stealth mastery, and speed enhancement. He has statistics amplification, surface scaling and water walking, minor illusion creation and duplication with the clone technique, shape-shifting with the transformation technique, paralysis inducement with temporary paralysis technique, explosion manipulation with explosive tags, a fear-inducing aura, elemental manipulation, which consists of air, electricity, fire, water, ice, and earth manipulation, limited weather manipulation with Kirin, summoning, being able to summon large beings to him, cross-dimensional interaction, being able to interact with Madara Uchiha's limbo clones, which exist in a different universe, atomic manipulation and creation, being able to create objects and by manipulating atoms with chakra, has cosmic awareness, being able to sense Naruto in another dimension, has enhanced senses, enhanced senses manipulation, being able to block the vision of Ishiki's Bakugan, which should have enhanced senses, especially with his smoke bombs. He has immense pain tolerance, being unaffected by one of his wings being blown off, and being able to continue to fight with his Asano despite every single cell in his body being in pain. He has enhanced sight with his Sharingan, along with the ability to see invisible people and also predict people's movements, along with being able to see through objects. He also is able to perceive viruses with this as well. He has information analysis and power mimicry, as the Sharingan has the ability to discern the reality behind any technique, and being able to mimic or copy any ninjutsu, taijutsu, or genjutsu with near perfect accuracy. He also has empowerment, minor light manipulation as the Sharingan lines and lights up in the dark, illusion reflection, being able to reflect illusions and genjutsu back on its user, illusion nullification, being able to break free and nullify genjutsu, minor astral projection, being able to project themselves into the target's inner consciousness, illusion creation with genjutsu, being able to create elaborate illusions within them just by making eye contact, mind manipulation, being able to hypnotize their targets, paralysis inducement, being able to paralyze them in place, sleep manipulation, being able to put people to sleep, perception manipulation, being able to trick the opponent's perception, memory manipulation, being able to peer into and relay memories and being able to erase memories too, pain manipulation with the demonic illusion shackle stakes, where the victim experiences illusion of physical pain, and also fear manipulation, being able to inflict crippling fear into people, even someone like Sai, who even doesn't really even have emotions. His fear manipulation is that big. He has limited durability negation, enhanced fire manipulation, non-physical interaction with the Amaterasu and Eton, as the user spawns inextinguishable black flames on their target as long as they're in their line of sight, the flames that are described to be as hot as the sun as well. It is also able to harm people who are far above Sasuke's level of power, and has also been, stated the most powerful offensive technique of the Mangekyo Sharingan, and will burn until their target is turned to ash, or even when they're completely submerged underwater, it will still be on fire. He has aura, with the Susanoo being able to create a protective aura around its user. Soul manipulation and non-physical interaction, as users of the Susanoo can interact with the soul, and the Susanoo is entirely made up of chakra or the soul, with the Susanoo being able to wield spirit weapons, of which have no physical form. The Susanoo also has weapons creation, being able to create blades, shield, and also crossbows. Force field creation with the Susanoo, large size with the Susanoo and the perfect Susanoo. You can create force fields, can fly with the perfect Susanoo, has enhanced senses with the Rinnegan, being able to perceive chakra within the flow of the body, and is also even able to see invisible limbo clones which reside in a different dimension and is normally not impossible to perceive. And paralysis inducement and body puppetry, as the black receivers can paralyze and hinder the movements whoever they pierce, and can also control their movements. Possession, clairvoyance, and telepathy with the 6 paths technique using the black chakra receivers, which also grants the ability of being able to pass memories and thought processes through different bodies, of which they are pierced with the black receivers. Limited levitation with the Diva Path, gravity manipulation, telekinesis, and sealing with the Diva Path, with also the ability to repel objects and people, along with ninjutsu. Shibaku Tensei is also an extremely powerful gravitational pull. Paralysis inducement, mind reading, non-physical interaction, soul manipulation. By making physical contact, the human path allows the user to paralyze their victim, instantly access their mind, read it, and then pull out their soul of their body, instantly killing them. He also has summoning, healing, and limited death manipulation, and sealing with the Naruto path, which allows the user to summon the King of Hell. The King of Hell is capable of repairing and healing even some of the most irreparable damage, and instantly kill those who lie to the user when questioned, being able to even store bodies and souls. Additionally, the King of Hell is invisible to everyone but the victim. It can also have cyborganization, body control, weapons creation, explosion manipulation, homing attacks, energy manipulation, and technology manipulation, being able to create additional mechanical arms and weaponry, and also being able to create explosive missiles which home on the target. Absorption with the Parita Path being able to absorb ninjutsu, healing with the Parita Path's chakra absorption being able to heal its user, resurrection with Ready Rebirth, which can revive the dead but at the cost of his own life, power nullification with the 6 paths, Shibaku Tensei, teleportation, which allows the user to switch locations with that of people or other objects, portal creation and dimensional travel, along with resistances to existence erasure, as users of the 6 paths of chakra are unaffected by the effects of the truth-seeking balls, which can erase people from existence. He has resistance to poisons, he has resistance to being possessed, resistance to ice manipulation, electricity manipulation, soul manipulation, power nullification, as users of the 6 paths bypass nullification effects of the truth-seeking orbs, fear manipulation, being able to withstand Orochimaru's fear manipulation, madness manipulation, transmutation, as he possesses the cells of Hashirama that Kabuto used to heal him, which gives him resistance to those things. He also has resistances to illusion creation, perception manipulation, and mind manipulation, being able to write through and see through genjutsu and genjutsu of other Sharingan users. Resistances to paralysis inducement, as the Rinnegan users are unaffected by the binding properties of the black receivers, and minor resistance to time stop, being able to observe events that happen within stopped time with his Rinnegan. He also has weapons such as his sword, several kunai, paper bombs, and explosive tags, along with smoke bombs too. So I think it's quite clear that Sasuke has the abilities and versatility point here. Weapons is quite hard to judge because Anakin quite clearly has the most powerful weapon out of Sasuke and him, being the lightsaber. However, Sasuke outright has more weapons, so if you judge weapons based off of versatility and how many they have, then Sasuke would have the weapons point. However, if you're judging the weapons based off of how powerful they are, then Anakin would have it. And considering we've already went over the general versatility of the two, I think it's clear that Anakin should have the weapons point at least. When it comes to weaknesses, and Anakin has pretty big arrogance and fear for the lives of those that he loves, which ultimately led to his ultimate corruption into Darth Vader. He also drifts towards the dark side when angered, which makes him impulsive. As for Sasuke, meanwhile, in the Boruto era, he lacks his left arm. Travelling between dimensions consumes a great portion of his chakra. The Sharingan ability to copy ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu is limited by the user's physical condition, that is to say if the user is physically capable of performing the technique that they are trying to replicate. They need to meet any physical or chakra amounts to, use any technique in question. This ability is also incapable of replicating the Kikai due to either not possessing the genetic predisposition or having necessary chakra natures. Naturally, the user also needs to see the technique that they are attempting to copy, meaning that they cannot copy something that they have not seen or has been obscured in a line of sight. In fact, the same can be said for basically all the Sharingan's abilities that are sight-based. So if the opponent can obscure the user's vision using extremely thick mist, dust, or blind them, the Sharingan's sight abilities, and most of their abilities actually, will be rendered useless. Likewise, if the opponent is too fast for the Sharingan to visually keep up with them, it is safe from its abilities as well. Sharingan Genjutsu requires eye contact, so the opponent is able to avoid eye contact or is blind, they will be able to avoid the Sharingan Genjutsu entirely. Finally, the Sharingan's predictive capabilities can be somewhat circumvented by attacks that have little to no pattern, such as Naruto's chakra arms that emerge out of every part of his body and can attack instinctively, and the Susanoo causes the user an immense amount of pain, which admittedly Sasuke can deal with. So Sasuke is definitely more vulnerable than Anakin just by having way more weaknesses than him. So overall, who wins the fight? We've gathered from this that either Sasuke or Anakin could be argued stronger or more durable than the other. Anakin is faster, has better weapons, and is less vulnerable. Meanwhile, Sasuke's got better abilities and is more versatile. So, who wins the fight? This is quite debatable, to be fair. If we have Anakin at only star level, then he is going to struggle a lot. Yeah, you could argue that he speed blitzes Sasuke and uses his lightsaber to just cut him in half. However, we don't know the upper limits of what the lightsaber can and cannot cut through. For example, if it could cut through the Susanoo's force field creation, for example, as again, it is just entirely made out of chakra. The thing is, Anakin can avoid a lot of the Sharingan's abilities. For example, being able to place him in an illusion, being able to, see his future movements and things like that. However, that doesn't mean that Sasuke does not have any of his abilities at all, as he still should be able to paralyze Anakin in place if he gets the chance. He still has all the abilities of his Susanoo and the Rinnegan, which given the different circumstances could work to win. Like, for example, he could pull Anakin's soul out of his body or use the King of Hell to instantly kill him, although it is admittedly quite situation based, if that makes sense. Anakin can replicate the Force with his Diva Path gravity manipulation, but he can't really replicate, I guess, things like being able to crush throats and the insides of others, which is definitely one of Anakin's better ways of winning. The only thing is, he wouldn't have any idea as to not looking into the eye of his enemies. He would have no reason to not look Sasuke in the eye, and if he does, then he's instantly caught in an illusion. You could argue that Sasuke might not be able to resist Anakin's mind manipulation and memory manipulation, as he can specifically only really resist Genjutsu, and Anakin's powers aren't Genjutsu related, so you could argue that Anakin wins that way, but at the same time Sasuke also has it, and if you equivalent the Force to chakra, then basically Sasuke would be able to work that way. And the same thing with Sasuke's ability to mimic powers. If he can, mimic Force powers, then it's even more in his favour. But as I said, it's not really Genjutsu related, so you can't really, I guess, go with that. Sasuke could also seal Anakin away, could possess and control every single one of his movements. If Anakin gets too much for him, he can just fly up into the air. And Anakin has no counter for the Amaterasu, which would basically just hurt Anakin right away. And even if you have Anakin at galaxy level, it'd still be able to do some a lot of damage to him due to his limited vulnerability negation. If you have Anakin at star level, then Sasuke just has to hit him once. And at multi-solar system level, then they are both quite equal, obviously. Obviously, the lightsaber would be able to defeat Sasuke, so it is really hard to tell, because given the speed advantage, you can argue that realistically, Anakin just runs right by him, uses his lightsaber, cuts him in half, and that's the end of the fight. However, if you're taking them in character, Anakin again just has to, or Anakin and Sasuke just have to make eye contact, and then the fight's already over, because Sasuke can basically then just do whatever he wants. As Anakin is trapped in an illusion, he can pull out his soul from there, and even if the illusion doesn't fully work, he can just paralyze him in place with many of his different things. He could also avoid getting hit by Sasuke using the substitution jutsu, which can also grant him the ability to see how Anakin's abilities work, which his Sharingan might be able to do anyways, if you think that he wouldn't be able to use his Sharingan abilities to tell what Anakin can do. Even Anakin's matter manipulation doesn't really matter, since Sasuke can basically do that as well with atomic manipulation. And while Sasuke can reflect many of Sasuke's attacks, Sasuke again just has way more attacks and can put Anakin on the back foot. So I do think that Sasuke is more likely to win the fight, especially when you consider he can mess with Anakin's enhanced senses with his smoke bombs, and his immense pain tolerance means he can keep on fighting even if, say, his hand gets cut off, his other one. But even then, you can very well argue that Anakin wins. So it's not really a clear ending to this, but given the different ways of scaling and how their abilities counteract each other, I don't think that's very surprising. If you enjoyed this video then and want to see more like, then make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
And with everyone super, no one will be. I control the truth! Mysterio is the truth!